right, everybody. Welcome back to Top 10s with Coach Mikey. Brought to you by Purple Media Co. Volume number 3 at this point. Well, we're back into it. I'm your co-host, Austin Eisert. Across the table from me is...
co-host, Mike Meredith.
That's right. He is also, don't forget, 2-0 co-host Mike Meredith.
That's true.
He's leading this, so as Mike had, touched on a bit in the last episode, I might need to reassess my life choices if it continues this way. But it wasn't even close either. Again,
What was the final?
I think it was 70-something to 30-something. I got better, but not great. And that vote that I thought might have belonged to me from your in-law or soon-to-be in-law. I'm not going to reveal her vote, but it wasn't my way. But yeah, man, we're back. It's 2023. First time back in the booth tonight. We got another list for you guys. But before that, of course, Happy New Year. I hope you had great holidays. I was actually about to just ask Mike about his own holidays. So, but before that, let's clinky.
Absolutely.
To an amazing 2022 and an even better 2023.
Let's get it.
Clinkies.
Yeah, man, holidays were good. Whenever you get the family together, it's always good, especially once people start leaving out of town. So my brother Jake living out of town, getting him back was always awesome.
He's
Time
relatively
off from
close,
work.
though, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's in Bowling Green.
Okay.
So nothing crazy, but getting time off of work. Christmas is the best holiday, so you wrap all that up together. Really good time.
Yeah. And then you didn't have to go. You didn't work last week, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
Well,
because they do like the daycare program, like all daycare, like the YMCA.
Yeah.
Essentially that St. Margaret Mary. So.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask about your whole break, and I assumed you weren't working.
Yeah, I was working, but it was still good. I still had days off. Since both holidays fell on a weekend.
Yeah.
Still got 2 school days off. So it all worked out okay. Had a really good time, and I haven't dreaded going back to work either.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself.
So, like, you're saying, like, your first week back into work, it was fine. You didn't have any issues.
Yeah, it's been good.
This is my first week back because last week I was in Florida.
Right.
So.
Good weather down there?
First 2 days were actually pretty cold. We got down there and it was probably like the 50s and cloudy. It was just kind of nasty days. But the last 3 days we were there, warmed up. And this is Sarasota, so it was pretty south and it was still cold just because we went right when the cold front hit, of course.
Yeah.
But the last 3 days were probably like 77 and sunny on the beach is, pretty warm. That's all you need. Like, I was able to be in my trunks. And honestly, towards the end of the week over the last couple of days, like, you could get into the water. I didn't, but you definitely could. It wasn't terrible. Like, I would walk to like calf level and it was fine. It was chilly, but it wasn't the worst thing ever. But getting back from that and then having Monday off was nice. I didn't know I had it off at first.
Yep.
And then, this week's been relatively quiet because I just, had a whole week off, so I don't have any meetings scheduled or anything. So it's been a cakewalk back in is basically what I mean.
Nice, good transition.
Yep, pretty much. We're into 2023 now. What's your way too early impression of 2023? We're 4 days in at this point.
I feel like this is kind of dark, but I feel like there's been a lot of death.
Really?
Already, a lot of like celebrity death. And a lot of just like scary moments, especially with the whole football injury and
right.
And then
what's his name? Renner, the guy who played Hawkeye.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner
Just got hit by a snowplow. What?
Yeah.
Did you read about it? Because I didn't see.
I only read a little bit. He was trying to save somebody, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and somehow his own snowmobile like ran him over.
No, it's a snowplow.
A snowplow. Oh.
Which that maybe I read it wrong.
I don't know.
I thought that's what it said.
Something revolving around snow. And then of course the like Red Bull driver or
oh, yeah.
extreme sports guy. I don't
You kind of
remember his name, but
you make me a little sad.
I know. I'm sorry.
I was feeling great. I was like, dude.
No, I feel great too.
My 2023 has been awesome. So
personally,
far.
it's been awesome.
Well, that's good to hear. Then,
yeah.
Outside forces, yes, we'll have a little memoriam at the end of this as well for some of the 2023s, 2022s.
Yeah.
But we don't want to be adding to the list already, man.
I know,
for 2023.
So hopefully it's just coincidence, but a lot of new things happening this year for me with getting married.
There you go.
Becoming a pet dad.
Damn, yeah. When's he come?
End of this month.
Yeah.
And then
looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, big time. Teaching full time next school year.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot to be excited for, a lot to be nervous for. But
hey, as long as you never feel like complacent in life, there's always as long as you keep actually turning a chapter, it's kind of nice. You know, you keep moving towards things. I mean, my 2023 has been fine. I just got into the gym today. I honestly, I'm pretty sore right now. It's my first time working out.
Yeah, my legs I got back into it too.
You were saying that. Where'd you join?
Well, I haven't joined yet, but we're going to join Crunch Fitness.
Is it there right now?
No, but I still have the whole ClassPass deal. I don't know if you know about that.
Could you? Is it just kind of like an online? Can you do it at home
app.
Essentially?
No, it's an app, and you get credits to join in workout classes.
Oh, never mind. Dana's doing that right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
ClassPass.
You say ClassPass shit. I thought it was like an app or something for actual Crunch or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, read that way wrong. I don't think she's going to do that. I think she's going to end up joining this gym over here. Mm-hmm. I went today, and I did go at a weird time. It was 3:30. But it's a small gym, but there was really no one in it. I'm not going to shout out the name just because I don't want you to crowd the gym up either. But relatively cheap, and I was able to go in, and I haven't worked out in months. So I'm going to be sore. I'm already sore. I had to tell myself in the middle of it, it's dude, you don't have to be, you don't need to strain yourself this hard in the first workout back. Take it a little far back, but sometimes you get excited. What brings you to go back in the gym is you're damn, I want to,
no doubt,
get back at this because I don't, I haven't done it in a while. But yeah, that had some really good job news today. But overall, 2023 has been all right. We're 4 days in. I'm going to give it an A+ so far.
Yeah, me. I don't want to I don't think death is the encapsulation of what 2023 has been so far. I just think coincidentally.
Yeah. Sorry for laughing at death.
There's been quite a few people that have already passed away. Yeah. And there's another musician maybe that I'm thinking of that I can't remember. But regardless.
And that football game is just that's left a bit of a dull. It's oh man, I'm not even really excited for football just because.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's been weird. But yeah, let's get into the list now. I would say you won the last time, as we had seen. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to get out before we go?
I just appreciate all the support. Whether you're supporting me or my lists are just that much better. I'm starting to feel bad. So if you are just solely supporting me, maybe take a look at the list and really decide for yourself. Probably the outcome will be the same.
This will make me better, though.
But yeah, of course. There's
make always smarter decisions and have better opinions. Think like everyone else.
Be like Mike.
Be like Mike. That's it. That's it.
But no. So we're about to get into this top 10 moments of 2022. Top 10.
I describe it as things/happenings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else to really describe it as. It's going to be somewhat obscure. Mm-hmm. When I described it to Mike, I said oh, this could be a really cool moment from your life this year. It could be an album. It could be literally anything.
Yeah.
It'd be a fucking music video if you just vibed with the music video that was your 2022.
Right.
It was just damn, that was a thing that kind of defined it, and I rolled with. So
I'm interested to see how ours differ and if they're similar at all. I know I have a lot of pop culture references in here.
Yeah.
Things
I'm gonna be honest. I think a lot of mine's personal stuff, but there's also other things. So.
All right. Well, why don't you kick it off?
All right. So with number 10, because Mike has home field advantage, having one last round. Number 10 for me, Rings of Power. it just was it was great to get back to that world and see it on TV in some form or way. I mean, because you got to think, dude, that's probably a longer gap than between fucking Avatar. You know, like the last Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not counting The Hobbit.
Shit, that's true. But even that, it's been a while since the last Hobbit. I completely disregarded The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But, Rings of Power was great to see it again. Some people don't love it. It's had some backlash, of course. But me personally, I have truly enjoyed seeing it back on TV, and I really enjoyed this this season. I like this story that I haven't heard about or read about before. I'm planning to read it, like the Similarian, I think is what this one is written after.
Gotcha.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
I don't either. I come up with that. I question myself every time I say it on a podcast or anything, because I was like, I don't even know if that's the pronunciation, but I never care to look it up. But that got me back wanting to like just read the book. So it was like, it was nice to kind of have that spark ignite me to make want to read the books again, and I just enjoyed the show.
Yeah, great show. That's a good pick. Being huge Lord of the Rings fans that we are, I agree. It was great to dive back into that.
Yeah.
My number 10 for me is Swifties versus Ticketmaster.
All right.
If there's one fan group that you don't want to mess with, it's probably the Swifties. And the Ticketmaster really messed with them. And for those of you who don't know,
I don't know a ton about it.
So
to some extent, I'm like, ticket prices were absurd. But
yeah,
I don't know what.
I'll give a brief rundown.
Go for it.
Taylor Swift announces her tour.
Correct.
Everybody's psyched out of their mind, and Ticketmaster essentially has a monopoly on this whole world of ticket sales.
Why is that?
I don't know. I have no idea why.
You would think maybe the stadium would sell them, or just like the tour would.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody just goes through Ticketmaster though, for whatever reason. Probably easier for a lot of people. Yeah, but Ticketmaster releases these pre-sale opportunities, which Madeline actually got.
Is she a Swiftie?
No, but she's a fan.
Okay.
I guess that makes her a Swiftie, but she's
Dana
not hardcore.
Dana really liked the last album.
I mean, I'm a fan, so am I a Swiftie? I don't know.
Maybe.
But these pre-sale tickets go up. She was waiting in her queue for like 8 hours, maybe even more.
Did she just do this like at a day at work or something?
Yeah, like it was a different tab pulled up while she was working.
Right.
And it might have even been longer than that. Essentially, Ticketmaster broke and it crashed. And Ticketmaster said, like, yo, like, sorry, we're not, if you got pre-sale, great. We're not doing general release tickets. So they were just like, we're not going to sell general admission tickets or release them to the public if you didn't get selected for the pre-sale.
So those are the only tickets, are pre-sale tickets.
Yeah, which I assume will get changed, but as of now, yeah, and that's why you see prices that are just crazy.
What's the highest ticket you've seen? I haven't looked.
I mean, I've seen them listed for like $40,000. I don't know if they're selling for that. I know Madeline was able to buy how many tickets? Four or five maybe, for like $70, and then she kept 3 of them and sold the others for $500 a piece.
Good Lord!
So
nice little payout.
Yeah.
So what made that number 10 for you?
I mean,
it just was like
just because it was just a lot of drama, it was interesting. A lot of people getting mad at Ticketmaster, and Ticketmaster kind of just being like, I don't know.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna go with Claro's set at Fort Castle.
Oh wow.
Claro, who I am a large fan of, or really enjoy her music, especially like, I don't know, I think I was late to her last album, which was Sling. I just didn't even know it came out. I'm so shit about looking for new music because I go through periods where I don't like listen to a lot of music. I'll listen to like podcasts more. I've been more in a music phase, but I haven't been in like a music discovery phase in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't hear that album for a while. Listened through it for the first time, and I thought it was good, but I didn't think anything was like super remarkable. But like as I listened to it through more and more times, like I found the ones, and like a lot of them I just really enjoyed. Like as a complete album, I really enjoyed it all the way through. I like songs more, of course, but really enjoyed listening to that through all the way. And that's what I was doing for like maybe like a week or so. I would literally just start it from the top when I got in my car and just like listen to the album, which was a fun way to do that. And then getting to see her live at Forecastle, which is our, local music festival. I don't think I've actually even gone to a music festival that's not Forecastle. I haven't driven anywhere, at least. If it wasn't in Louisville, I didn't go to it, probably.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
So like it was nice to go to the one that she was there at that one. During her set, it's like raining and cold, so it like matched the vibe in a very cool way. I think you and Madeline liked it more than you had initially like thought you would have. Very and I get that as well, because it's very like slow, laid back music, but it's the way I think I described it one time was like non-intrusive to you, where it's like you could have this on, and sometimes music gets annoying if you've been listening to it long enough, but you could just have that playing.
No doubt.
It's not going to like, annoy you, I guess is what I'm getting at. But very much enjoyed that set. Was very fun. I didn't know what to think going into it, because I was like, I wonder how this set's going to go. I think I had heard that she wasn't a great performer, but I had a great time watching it.
Yeah, it was really good. And the whole rain element ended up being really cool too. Just everybody kind of dancing in the
exactly.
rain.
And it was like a drizzle.
It fit her vibe
Yeah,
perfectly.
It wasn't like hard rain. It was a drizzle, but it added up, and it was actually cold because it was sooner in the year this year. Wasn't it in like May opposed to when it's typically in like July? Okay. That's my number 9. Claro set at Forecastle.
I think your list is going to be much more personal than mine is, so this will be interesting.
Let's go for it.
But my number 9 is, in 2022, Nick Cannon welcomes 5 children.
All right. I think you're going to win again, Michael.
So, well, you never know. But what a just an absolutely absurd stat. One that we might not even have heard since the times of kings and queens.
So he had 5 children in 1 year.
Yeah. Different women, of course. Maybe even 5 different women.
I don't get... He has to be tried, right?
Like on trial?
He has to be trying to have kids,
right? Oh, yeah. These are like, it's his family. Like, I believe they're like, it's like a polyamorous relationship. Meaning, like, he has multiple wives, and they all know about it. Oh. Or if it's not that legitimate, everyone knows what's going on.
And he has money, I guess.
Yeah. But it's not like he's going broke from child support.
No, I wouldn't imagine
because he's like, these are like, he's still there.
What was the TV? Was it
Wild and Out?
No. I was thinking more of the. He was like he was a host for a show for a while. Was it America's Got Talent? Was he a host for that, or was it American Idol? Which one was it? He was definitely like a host at some point.
He was a host. I don't remember which one it was though.
I think it was America's Got Talent.
I'm going to read off these names of the children.
Okay.
Because it gets better. I'm going to start with the least ridiculous, and then the rest.
Hey, this is rude, Michael.
And then the other 4 are pretty much on the same level. Ridiculous can mean a lot of things. It's not necessarily negative.
Good point. It could be a ridiculously great name.
Yeah, exactly. But Halo Marie Cannon. Legendary Love Cannon. Onyx Ice Coal Cannon. Rise Messiah Cannon.
Okay.
And Beautiful Zeppelin Cannon.
Who's naming them? You think it's just him? You think
I would assume for a lot of those it's just him.
You think he's got sole rights to the artistry of
He's got naming rights?
Yeah, he's got naming rights for the kids.
He may. I don't know.
Rise Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But so there's my number 9.
I can't say that I'd want that to be my name.
I can't say that I would want to have 5 children in a year, but...
No. I mean, I can say that I would not like to have.
And I think that brings his total up to 12.
Who's the football player, the cornerback who has a ton of kids? Where's his number at?
Antonio Cromartie or
Yeah.
something? I don't know what his number is.
Let's see.
Yeah, look it up.
So let's go Antonio. How do you spell his name? Cromartie. Shit.
CROM.
Let's see. I could be really, really wrong off this. Yeah, I don't know. I think I did the long. No, Antonio Cromartie. I'm an idiot.
That's what I said.
I know. I started typing in McCarty. Jesus. Antonio Cromartie, kid. Sorry for the delay, team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 14 kids. Never mind.
14.
Yeah, 14 kids with 8 different women. So he has him beat.
Yeah, he does have him beat.
Okay. You got some work to do, Nick.
Yeah.
If you're
2023's got to be a big one.
It's got to be a big one. 2022 is great for you, man. I don't know if you can pump those numbers again. I would love to see you try. If he puts out another 5 or even like ups the ante, wouldn't that be something to see?
That would be wild.
Wow, that can't be healthy. I guess with different women.
Yeah.
I guess it's not feasibly possible. I guess if you had, like quintuplets, you could have 5 kids in 1 year.
True.
Damn, that would suck.
That would suck.
Whoa, what a fucking bad deal you would have gotten as the father there. You just ended up with 5 kids in one bundle, or everyone involved.
A little litter.
Yeah, dude.
Human litter.
What the fuck?
All right, move on to number 8.
Number 8. My number 8 is a movie. This is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay, still haven't seen it.
Still haven't seen it. So this was a movie that I had literally zero expectation going into. I hadn't even seen a fucking trailer for it. And Leiter was talking about it. Give him his credit, because we went and it was an absolute blast of a movie to watch. Very, I guess, just interesting in the way that everything was like intertwined and how it worked. And there's just this bit basically where they can travel through separate universes, and every minute decision, that just metaverse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a metaverse movie, but super good, very well shot, very well acted. Data from The Goonies is one of the main characters in it. It's his first acting performance since like Indiana Jones or something. Like when he was a kid. Like he hasn't acted since, apparently. I believe that's what I read, which is wild. And it was a great movie. It's like kung fu, and it was a great time. Absolute blast. That's one we should watch together as well at some point.
Okay.
But Everything Everywhere All at Once, I've already probably watched it myself, probably 5 times. It's one of those ones where I don't even want to recommend it anymore, because I've already recommended it so many times. It's like, okay, quit pushing it. But it's great. It's a great movie.
Okay.
I think, Matt Steiden?
Yeah.
I saw him at the movie theater, and I had told him to see that one. And then I saw him another night at a bar and said, have you seen it yet? And he hadn't. I told him to see it that night too. But all right, that's my number 8.
All right, my number 8 is Elon buys Twitter.
Okay.
Pretty long process. He essentially offered a way overvalued amount for Twitter. And then Twitter's like, yeah. And then he was like, no, I'm just kidding. And then he was contractually obligated to follow through. And I made a little bit of money off of it.
All right, Mike.
Wish I would have put more money in it.
Yeah. You would have been stressing for a while though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You probably would have been like, all right, just pull it. That's the thing when, like I worked in finance. It was like, you always dream and hope. You're like, oh, I held to the very last minute. But the truth is, like, you're fucking selling way before if it's like a ton of money a ton of the time. So
especially if it's on the rise.
Yeah.
Like But it was so like, the reason I bought it is because he had put an offer in, and it was like way over the price per share.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna. And then he was gonna take the company private. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna get in now, and then when he buys it and it becomes private, then they have to redistribute all the money back out. Now, I don't even know if it is private because I think I sold.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if he's done that yet, but just kind of a long and funny and weird process. And
well, then also the changes to Twitter since he's been the owner. It's been way different.
Right.
It's becoming more like the Wild West again, which is fun to some extent on Twitter.
My Twitter feed hasn't changed that much, but
I don't get on Twitter a ton, but I think I've just seen tweets that he has put out as the CEO. It's like, oh, this is. They probably wouldn't even have allowed him to be saying this if he wasn't the CEO. If it was still on his other people. Yeah. But all right, this is number 8. Yeah, we definitely weren't seeing eye to eye on terms of our list, but that's okay. That'll make it interesting. Yours will definitely be more relatable, I would imagine. Number
Number what?
Number 7 for me is MLB The Show 2022. I think this is a game that kind of defined this year in gaming for me. I did stop playing towards the end of baseball season once football had started playing, and I'd already played the game since whenever it came out, which might have been April. So I got a good probably 5 straight months of playing heavy. And that's tough to do nowadays too with work and everything. Yeah. But love that game on our video game list, sports video game list. It was very high on that list. I don't even remember what I had it as then. Let's see here. On that list, I had it listed at number 2. Yeah, so I really loved that game. It definitely was a bit that I just hadn't played a good sports game in so long, or a new one that was really enjoyable that grabbed my attention like that. And I just fully immersed myself in it. It was like, damn, I have missed this from sports video games. Mm-hmm. I've had so much fun playing it. Very much looking forward to 2023 in that game. I think you're gonna get it or play it as well, probably, right? I don't know. Maybe. I might have assumed that, but it was on your list too.
It was.
Wasn't it?
I mean, it definitely was a great game. Yeah, I just don't know if I love baseball enough.
Yeah,
but
I'll talk you into it. I'll sell you when the time comes.
You might.
All right. Maybe this is the year you get into baseball more. Go with. Are you a Royals fan still? Technically, is that who you would go with if you had to choose?
Yeah.
Follow them.
No.
You'll have a ton of fun, man. I promise. I promise.
We'll see.
Well, I guess whatever.
I've been to more MLB games than I have NFL games.
I've been to one NFL game.
Same.
So it was the one we went up with the football team.
Oh, I didn't even go to that one.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a horrible game. It was Matt Hasselbeck for the Colts.
Yeah.
Because they were all on their third string against the Texans, third string quarterback, whoever the hell that was. Oh, it was bad. It was one touchdown in the game. All right, so that's my number 7.
All right, so my number 7 is the Adam Levine leaks. And
okay.
The reason that it's on this list is because I still use these quotes a lot, as jokes. And for those of you who don't know, some Instagram DMs released of him messaging with this mistress. And obviously he's married. So I'm going to read off a couple of my favorites here.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So it starts off with, "I'm now obsessed with you." And this woman responds, "Dude, aren't you married? LOL." And he says, "Yes, but it's a bit complicated." And then you keep going. "I don't know what's being exchanged here." And then we get a, "Holy fuck. Holy fucking fuck. That body of yours is absurd."
He's spitting game.
Yeah. And then he says, "Seriously, fuck." And then she sends a photo And then he says, I may need to see the booty. Fuck. With a lot of K's. There's a lot of K's there.
Oh, man. He was horny as hell, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then it's like all these horny-ass, weird messages. And then, like, one of the final parts of their communication is he's just like, I'm having another baby. Wifey pregnant, and I'm having a boy.
That's real?
Yeah, that's real. So
I get the bit that he's horning out about, but God, to switch up the game plan or just to feel like, oh, this was a necessary thing to tell this person I was trying to cheat with.
Yeah, so I don't...
Wifey.
So I don't condone that. I don't appreciate Adam Levine treating his wife like that.
Fuck no.
But with that being said, he definitely flirts like a 40-something-year-old married man would flirt. And
yeah, you don't think of him being that old. Is he actually
he might be in his late 30s, but pretty hilarious. Sometimes I like to use the holy fucking fuck line
in your own texting.
Yeah, especially with Madeline, because like this she'll think something's wrong, and then I'll just say whatever.
Huh.
But that's why. So that's that's my number 7.
That's a part of your life.
Yeah.
That one is personal to some degree.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we are on the right track, Mike. Number 6 for me. We good to move ahead?
Yeah.
I went with the Purple Progress. You know, throughout this year, we've continued it going. We're still doing it. It wasn't a fluke. We started this thing back in 2021, had the 1-year anniversary this year.
How about that?
We're still doing it. Into 2023, we're going to keep it going. We're enjoying it. We'll find new things to talk about at all times, I'm sure. So it's fun. I'm enjoying it. We've done the purple merch, which was a nice thing that came along when, out of nowhere, I just was going to like my website to fix it up or just kind of check on everything, see if I wanted to change anything around, and just stumbled upon this this thing that's like integrated to be a shop, and they make the shirts as basically ordered. So I didn't have to buy a back stock or like front any money or anything. It's just a matter of when someone orders them, I'll pay whatever amount to have it made. So that was really helpful, and that's what like had deterred me. I'd always wanted to do some kind of like merchandise, shirts and everything.
Right.
But the idea of having to order like however many shirts, and it's like, who's going to buy them? But now I have the option to keep it up there and not have to have this backlog and spend, however much money to get it produced. So that was very nice. The YouTube videos, which have begun, like when I first started this, I had always intended to do some kind of YouTube. It took over a year to get to that point, but we have done it. We're moving along there. We're streaming.
And if NCAA football ever comes out,
if it ever comes out, we're going to be there, right?
If we roll with Revamped, then...
Or if we roll with Revamped,
we'll be on Twitch and YouTube.
Exactly. So it's just nice, and we'll see what 2023 brings.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I would necessarily be doing, but something might come out.
That's right. Now that I'm officially a co-host,
that's correct.
I can pitch you some of my ideas, maybe, and
I would love to hear them.
We'll keep the growth going.
Absolutely, that's the thing. Keep it moving forward. Doesn't matter how slow we're moving. As long as we're moving, we'll keep going somewhere. So, Clinkies again on that?
Yeah, Clinkies.
Clinkies again on that.
Was that a... Did you just make that quote up?
What quote?
The one you just said. Doesn't matter how slow we're going, as long as we're moving forward, we'll be going somewhere.
Yeah, I did make that.
I like that one.
That was intuitive. We'll have to record that or
you should
run
get
that
tattooed.
Yeah, just might with Purple Media Co. Underneath it.
There you go.
Say like quote. But yeah, Purple Progress. I think that was a good one to get up there. And the studio setup, isn't this nice?
Yeah, it is very nice.
I'm enjoying this as well. So
Love
that's
it.
a side note in there, with an honorable mention of moving into this place. So we have this area, just more room in general. Go ahead, Mikey.
All right, number 6.
Yes, sir.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'll have to. I talked about this on a podcast last year. It was pretty
really?
funny.
Yeah.
I said I shouldn't be laughing at violence, but
Right.
I was laughing at it.
Yeah, I mean, again, another just kind of ridiculous situation where like
it makes you think this world isn't real.
Yeah, so, I mean, in some ways, yeah, where a comic makes a joke, and then Will Smith laughs at the joke, and then who knows what happens, and then is very upset at the joke.
Yeah.
And then walks up there and slaps the hell out of Chris Rock.
It was one of those things you thought it was. That was part of the show at first.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Absolutely, thought it was
What
staged.
just happened? Because you aren't ever expecting someone to behave like that on like that stage,
especially at like a red carpet event.
Yeah, and he ended up winning the Oscar.
Yeah, and then went on to win the Oscar, which is
wow.
for like
he had to get up
best
and,
actor, right?
Yeah, for King Louis.
Yeah.
I actually watched that. Really good movie.
Yeah, I should watch that.
That was a good one.
Is it Louis?
Isn't it King Louis? Maybe not. King Richard.
King Richard. That's
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
King Richard, King Louis. Fuck. Sorry, guys.
You were just getting confused with what our city is named after.
That's right. I love this city.
Yeah. But yeah, so that broke the internet, and everybody was talking about it when it happened. So that's why it made the list.
I mean, it did not make sense at all.
No.
No. I
mean,
something to
it's
say
not
about
like it was a super distasteful joke. I mean, I get it. It's a medical condition, but it's not. I guess it's a disease technically. So.
Well, there was also the whole Will Smith stuff about her, like about Jada, like cheating on him with her,
yeah,
with Jaden's
and that was
friend
earlier in the year.
Yeah,
yeah.
What a
With
wild
the,
year
like,
for Will.
The kid that they like took in and like helped like get back on his feet.
That shit happened too, didn't it? That really happened.
Yeah, it happened. She admitted it and talked about it.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
Hollywood isn't a real place. Did you ever see? That's what I was thinking. Did you ever see that? What was that movie that was like a spoof on like Today's World?
With Jennifer Lawrence? Don't Look Up?
Yes, Don't Look Up.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds you. It was like, oh, this shit is really happening.
Yeah.
Which is funny because another Jennifer Lawrence movie, like The Hunger Games, felt a lot like, it was like, wow, the whatever.
That's more apocalyptic.
It's just like Hollywood. Yeah, absolutely. But when what was it called when they would go to like the city and it was like all those people wearing crazy ass shit?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this is just Hollywood.
But yeah, right.
So that's what basically these events are reminding us. Like, wow, these are really real things that happen.
Yeah, but
On to my number 5.
yeah, let's do it.
Number 5 for me, Desmond Draft Party.
Nice.
That was a very fun time.
Yeah.
A very cool thing to be at, a one-in-a-lifetime event. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
Especially at this point in our lives.
Well, I mean, I
Unless
guess we have
one
like
of
a
our kids,
kid.
yeah.
Exactly. So, which, you know, isn't likely in any means. Like,
My kid will be there.
yeah. I'll make him.
No. More than likely once in a lifetime. So super cool to be a part of.
Yeah, be right there when he got the call. Like, I remember we were told to, turn our location off. I wonder, like, I don't know if anyone was really like trying to be there like that.
Yeah, but it's still cool to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something
So it was a
where
very
that
good
is a
time
thing.
to see one of our, closest friends accomplish a lifelong goal.
No doubt.
And to be right there for it. Very cool. Now he's starting. So 2022, I thought that was a great time. It got all our friends together as well. So it was just kind of a surreal moment to some extent.
Hell yeah.
Being able to celebrate with them after as well. Going back to his house we went to in high school.
Yeah.
And just hanging out there.
That's true. That is true. Surreal is a very good word for that.
Yep, no doubt.
So now moving into my top 5, this is where it does get a little more personal for me.
Cool, tight.
Starting with number 5, it's kind of like a transition. Johnny Depp beats the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of this is personal?
Well, he's from Kentucky. I've grown up really.
You're born
idolizing.
from the same state.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I've always was a big fan of Johnny Depp, and being a young actor myself through the theater programs in school.
Yeah.
And he was always kind of weird and like had a theater boy vibe to him.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that, and just a phenomenal actor. I have his cologne.
Do you really?
And I wanted it for like years, and I finally got
What's
it.
his cologne called again? It's got a funny.
Sauvage.
Yeah.
By Dior.
Yeah.
And fun fact, Dior is the only company that really stood by him throughout this whole process and really waited for the whole truth. And clearly he's not just innocent. He was innocent in the defamation case, but Clearly, him and Amber Heard had some issues, and he's not an
they
angel
weren't friends, yeah.
by any means. And he definitely has been through some stuff. So I'm not glorifying or idolizing Johnny Depp in any way,
Right.
but just kind of seeing him kind of prevail and kind of be on top.
Were you rooting for him
After
the whole time?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
After he had been so low, because she did him dirty in a lot of ways.
I don't know a ton about the case. I know Dana watched it all the time.
Really?
And it was just on her phone. It was like, good Lord.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he's not perfect, but she did a lot of things she made a lot of things public that, aren't like, she would video record him secretly and set up a lot of pictures and stuff when he was passed out.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
I do recall some of those images.
It was good to just, see him appear happy.
Go Johnny.
Who knows if he is or not, but
Captain Jacket's one of my favorites.
So Johnny Depp, if you're listening, we got a seat right here for you on the Purple Podcast. We'll talk about whatever you want.
I would love to. Johnny, make it happen.
So there's my number 5.
Number 4 for me, becoming a groomsman. Which was
how cool.
A very good honor of mine. It was a very cool event. I can't wait. Well, just even that moment alone was very nice. I was very happy for it. I might have seen it coming, but it didn't make it any, less special when it did occur. So I do appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the wedding. So, that bit in 2022 and now the wedding in 2023. I guess we got to get on doing something, for you. That's for us to figure out, though.
Yeah, as a groomsman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my brothers should be able to take care of it, but I don't know. I'm sure they have. I mean,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It's going to be a good old time.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a groomsman.
Yeah.
We got the flask up here on display. You can't see it on the screen right now. But yeah, that was a very nice honor. So thank you, Mike. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for
I love you,
accepting.
buddy. Yeah,
love
absolutely.
You too.
On to your number 4.
My number 4. Celtics make the NBA Finals.
Okay, I believe it.
Obviously, not the ending that you want whenever you make the finals, but still cool to see such a fast transition, because being a Celtics fan, it's easy to be pegged as a bandwagon.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. I became a fan when they drafted Rondo,
right,
with my Kentucky ties, and they were pretty bad. And then they got the big 3 plus Rondo.
And they were good.
Made their run, won a ship, and then sold off all the big 3 for draft picks galore, and went through some really tough rebuilding years.
For sure.
And, to see them, it's really cool to see it work out, especially through the draft, where your key players, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, are all people that I watched on draft night. Marcus Smart even get drafted, and just to see them, how they've developed and became their own players. And
this is when becoming being a fan is kind of you're getting more into it, because you get to see those things. When we were fans,
right,
when we were younger, we weren't paying attention to those
right,
things as much. We weren't a fan for long enough to even really feel this whole, or being on this whole journey with the team, essentially the ups and downs of it. We more so just saw when we were fans.
No doubt.
Unfortunately for myself, it's been a lot of downs for just about all my teams, and continues to be so, which makes Kentucky not being amazing, or not having been amazing in the last few years. I mean, I guess we were really good, but that was my one team who had success and was
right,
actually competing for a championship most of the time. The Cubs had their run. We did get a championship there. But the Bulls haven't been great in a very long time. The Dolphins have made the playoffs 3 times in my lifetime. And, I mean, I guess if I want to call myself a Blackhawks fan, they've been good, but not really since I've started following or anything. But the Cubs, were terrible forever and aren't great again. So,
yeah. But you got a championship in the middle there.
I do. Which is nice.
Yeah.
I got one of them. I'd love to see some more. And the thing is, I mean, I don't know how great I feel about any of them. You could talk about the Dolphins, but it's been, we lost 5 in a row, so it's hard to feel great about that team, even if we showed really good flashes.
It's true.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that was it.
But yeah, absolutely. It is nice now as like a fan being able to see all those things and like growing up with the team.
All right, moving on. Top 3.
Top 3. This is when it got really tough. I guess not really tough, but 2 and 3 were probably the ones that I went back and forth on the most. Number 3 for me, reading all the Harry Potter books through for the first time.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I had read, couldn't fucking think of the past tense version of read. I had read the first 3. I had read the first 2 twice because, I don't know, I guess at one point in time I read the first 2 and didn't read the third. The next time I read the first 2 to start it over and read the third one. This was in like grade school.
Yeah.
So I hadn't touched it since grade school essentially. And this year we got back from Dallas. We got back from Dallas because I got COVID and was just at home for a whole entire week. Watched the Harry Potter movies, or me and Dana had been watching the Harry Potter movies, and there was also like the Harry Potter reunion that came out. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. I was like, damn, this has me. I'm going to do it. And I bought all of them because I'd only had the first 3 anyways at home. I bought all of them and said, I'm going to read it, and actually did it, and it was fucking awesome. Like, the books are so much better than, the movies, which are already so great. And I've said that multiple times on this, so this is just another thing that, like, it's a hard ask to ever be like, okay, just read these books.
Right.
Some of them are 800 pages, but you won't regret it. I promise you that. Like, you fly through them too. They're so much easier to read. Like, reading Lord of the Rings right now, so much harder to read through just because of how it's written, the age on it, the date, and everything like that. But flew through those books. I read The Order of the Phoenix, which is the longest book, in a week. Dana was out of town, so just flew through those. And that was a big highlight, finally actually doing that. I guess before we get to the memoriam, Robbie Coltrane, we should throw it in there, since it's just relevant at this point. So R.I.P. Hagrid.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Hagrid.
Yep.
A sad one, a real one, but lost him in 2022. Just want to give some respects about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's number 3.
I definitely want to read those.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess a year is so long, but I feel like I already have so much planned for this year, which sounds crazy to say.
To read?
No, just to do.
Oh, yeah.
On January 4th, it sounds crazy to say, but so I don't know if I'll read those books this year, but I want to read them at some point in my life.
What do you do when you're going to bed, like before going to sleep?
I do read.
Yeah.
I do read. Sometimes I just get in bed and go to sleep. Unfortunately, sometimes I scroll on my phone mindlessly, which is I don't want to do, and
Right.
I've gotten better at that.
Do you actively try to avoid doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I have to.
Or would you just always do it or something?
No, but I just feel like I have to actively, like, my default would just be like, okay, grab my phone, check Twitter, check my messages,
I
see
turned
what's
off
going on.
suggested posts on Instagram, so I only see people who I know posting or who I follow posting.
Yeah.
And there's a reason they do suggested posts because you would just be looking at the same shit over and over again, which I do. So it's like, oh, I'm not going to stay on this app, and they want to keep you on the app, so they're going to show you everything relevant now. So you can see how they grew as a company in that regard. But I will. I go through phases where I'm really into reading, and then sometimes I don't want to put forth that effort, and I just go on my phone, which is bad. But I'm actually more of a YouTube guy on my laptop.
Yeah,
that's what I typically will do.
Yeah, I like watching YouTube too,
or just surfing the web.
Yeah, I read. I like reading a lot of history, or at least that's what I'm into now. But it just takes. I'm not a good reader either. I'm such a slow reader, and the way my brain is wired, I have to try to understand every single sentence, and so sometimes I'll spend minutes on a page just trying to reread it and understand it. Parts. So yeah, I'm not great at reading. I definitely want to get better at it.
That sounds so funny to say. Like, I want to get better at reading.
Yeah.
I mean, I do get that because I've never been a fast reader, but I think there's like times when I've probably gotten better because I have been reading a decent amount in like my adult life. So
For sure.
like I would imagine I'm getting better to some extent. The Lord of the Rings ones are tough.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely need to read those too, especially because that's my.
I'm definitely gonna do it. I've been kind of lollygagging, but the holidays kind of messed everything up. So I actually, just talking about this right now, I probably will read a little bit of it tonight. But
All right, well, we'll move on to my top 3.
That's right.
So these last 3 here, pretty cool for me to say that these are all once in a lifetime experiences. So coming in at number 3 is the Desmond Ridder draft experience.
Damn right.
Which we already touched on. Just being invited there and getting to see it all unfold, and that was the plan all along.
Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot to us, and honestly, I'm sure it meant a lot to Desmond as well, having us there. So it was a great event, a cool thing to step back. Like, I don't know how to look at this. Like, there's not a lot of times where, like, you look at your friend and you're saying, like, hey, I'm proud of you,
Especially at our age.
Yeah, that's fair as well. But, like, there's not that, I mean, I'll say that shit, but, a lot of people aren't, like, it's just, like, it's kind of like a weird thing to talk about, kind of like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I know
like,
what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like guys and emotional shit. It's like, oh, you're being corny. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's real. I mean, I was very proud of him. I was very happy. Like, being genuinely proud for someone that you care about, seeing them succeed and being incredibly happy for them. That's a very wholesome moment, because it's not about you, but like, it's great to be like, oh my God, I'm super happy for like a great friend for what they've achieved.
No doubt.
Because it's easy. I'm sure people would get envious to some extent, maybe if you're bad friends, I guess.
Yeah.
But very cool, very awesome to see. Once in a lifetime moment, no doubt. Well, I guess not no doubt, but 99%.
Yeah, probably. Doubtful.
Probably more than 99% too, honestly, if we're going to be honest.
if you want to be honest.
Honestly, yeah.
Honestly, probably.
Number 2 for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were... Number 2 for me.
You said that like you were about to say it.
Well, I was questioning. Yeah,
yes.
I hear you.
Yes.
Number 2 for me, this is just something that's changed my whole entire, way my life is going right now. Getting a new job. Because I don't know how much of this story I've told you, and this, this might be a relatively moderately decent segment here in itself, but essentially, I didn't like my job. I'd been working that job since senior year of college. I basically stayed at home in Louisville instead of being in Lexington for my senior year of college for it. It was a great opportunity. Found out I just didn't like it. That happens. There were other outlying forces, but or not outlying forces, but things I just didn't like the job. And you can take your imagination where you want. I'm not here to badmouth anyone, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't the job that I loved, and I was actively searching for a job and very much wanted a job. It's what actually made me start the Purple Podcast to some degree. It was just my discontent with being there and just needing to do something else that I felt was like fulfilling me in some kind of way. But looking for a job, and I knew when I was looking for a job, I only wanted something remote. Just because, with doing this as well, it's like I would love to be able to work from home, work on my own schedule. And obviously I didn't know exactly what I was going to get with it, but searched for a while. A few months, I got one interview, ended up not getting it, was down to the last step to where like I had an interview and they said, we need to interview you later today because we need this decision made. So like I interviewed again, didn't get the job, and I was like, shit, dude, I thought I was out of this job that I really didn't like. Like, damn, dude, I've been trying to get out. I want something remote. The job sounded very cool. It would have been a really cool job. Didn't get it. Bummed. Took me a while to get another interview. Ended up getting the interview with the job that I currently have. And since being there, I can only, begin to say how much better like overall my life has been. Just the freedom that it's afforded me. I love the job that I do. I guess maybe that isn't exactly fair. Like, I do really enjoy my job, no doubt. Of course, I'd want to do other things if I had like my own choice to. But a great job, great benefits. This was the first time I've taken PTO, and I had the job in May, was this trip to Florida. But it's been all I could ask for. Very, like young, like progressive workplace too. So it's not like you have asshole bosses or anything. It's just been an overall amazing situation that allows me to get my work done. I've succeeded in it, even though there's like times where it's like I don't really have work to do, and that gives you time to like work on other things. And I don't, I think I use that time well too with like everything that I've tried to do with the Purple podcast. I don't think we've had as much Purple progress this year. Sorry, that was terrible. I don't know if we've had as much progress with this year if I didn't have this job, and like I was going to the job that I was doing at that point. I wouldn't have had enough time. There wouldn't be I would have been worn out. So a lot of like my lifestyle and where I'm at currently, I just cannot complain at all about like my job. It's been amazing. I work hard, but it allows me to just kind of like work on my own time, my own schedule, and I'm not going to not do my work. It's of course, and no one's breathing down your neck, and it's just it's the way I operate best, and I just think it's been overall like a game-changing factor in my life to this point. Number 2.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mike.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Number 2 for me, becoming a new homeowner.
Damn right.
Yeah. So, that for sure is a once in a lifetime. You can only become a first-time homeowner once.
Yeah. Because that's the first time.
Exactly. And so there can't be 2 first times.
Right.
So, yeah, first time homeowner, pretty self-explanatory. But
had you known that you were like wanting or going to buy a house for like a while? Like, when did you make the decision?
Yeah, well,
because buying the house came after getting engaged, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
However, that was not a prerequisite.
Right. Okay.
So we won state in December, and then that's when we were going to move out at the beginning of 2022, whether that meant apartment, renting a house, whatever. And so we just started looking and started like doing some math and realizing you don't have to put 20% down. Obviously, the most amount of money that you can possibly put down on a house, the best, but we ended up putting like 3% down.
Yeah.
So we were able to really get something like a good house for not a lot of cash at the time. And so we moved in April. We looked for probably from January to April, because that's how crazy the housing market was. Like every day, like, is there any new listings today? Like in the whole entire city.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, it's not the same thing. We were looking for just like, rental apartments. It was that same deal. It's like you're checking every day.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I have a month to move out. I need to fucking find something.
So it was really good because we didn't have a timeline to move out since we were both living at home with our parents. So we could take our time in that aspect and really make sure it was a perfect fit. But it took about probably 3.5 months to really find what we wanted, and then once you find it and your offer gets accepted, it's boom, 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 close on it 3 weeks later. And
did you enjoy the process?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially with it being the first time. And now I can see how it gets less enjoyable each time you do it. And like, especially now, next time we move, it adds in a whole factor of we have to sell this house.
Yeah.
Make sure we sell it. Make sure we know how much we sell it for, so we know how much capital we have to move over into the next house. And so it's a lot more moving parts.
Yeah.
But the process was awesome.
I know this is probably a pretty bad question, but like, in terms of a mortgage, you're paying a mortgage each month. Say you're selling your home, I guess you have to buy out the rest of the mortgage at that point if you don't live in it to like the length of your mortgage.
Yeah, so we have a 30-year mortgage.
Yeah.
We're not going to live in this house for 30 years.
Right.
So it's the amount of money that you sell your house for goes, since homes appreciate, you're going to make money on your house. Right. You pay off your mortgage loan.
With basically
the money with the amount of money that you sell your house for, you pay off your mortgage loan. Whatever's left over is the capital the actual cash that you get.
Gains, their capital gains, yeah.
And that's what you can use to pretty much always, you just take that money, throw it on your down payment for your next house.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't think they are capital gains. I think your actual home isn't a capital.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think it is. So that's nice. No taxes on it.
Well, property tax.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like once you sell it, you don't get taxed on the gains.
Right.
Finance.
Crazy.
Well, that's good to hear, man. I want to buy a house. It's a very weird market right now.
Yeah.
Where prices are still pretty high, and prices are coming down now, I believe. Mm-hmm. If I've seen things correctly, I'm seeing price deductions, which wasn't a thing, a few months ago even. Mm-hmm. But with interest rates at like 7% now, or I don't even know exactly what they're at, but I think they're like around 7%. That's what we have defaulted on our websites. We do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a nice one. Number 2 for you.
Yep.
I'll go on to my number 1. Pretty straightforward. Honestly, there's not a ton to it, but just another year around the sun with loved ones. I think that's the highlight of it, man. That's all you can ask for. We did lose some. It was a tough year for grandparents. I myself lost my grandma Debbie, a real one. I know she's still with me. I know everyone out there who's lost a loved one this year. They're still with you. You carry them with you. The memory lives on. And, it only gets stronger. And you always, I truthfully, I think of it that way. It's, I do feel them with me. I carry the memories, mm-hmm. and, those memories are never going to die. So, it is what it is. It's a part of life, and a terrible way to put it is what it is. But, that's life. It happens. It's incredibly sad, but, you move on. You carry them with you. You never forget them. And that's how it goes. So, R.I.P. Grandma Debbie. I've enjoyed, that's why you got to enjoy the years that you love, you spend with your loved ones, because you don't know how many of them you're going to get. So, just having another year with all my friends, family, and everyone I care and love about has been all you can ask for in a year. As long as that's going, you're not losing. So that's my number 1. On to yours, Mikey.
All right. Yeah, that's a really good one. My number 1 is getting engaged.
I thought that might be it.
Yep.
What would Madeline have done if it wasn't your number 1? Would she disengage
you? She would have loved
you?
Me just the same.
Is that what it's called, disengaging?
It should be.
It should be. I'm sorry, that's bad juju.
But, yeah, getting engaged and about to get married, and at some point start a family, and so it's the start of the whole process. So
it sure is the start.
It's really exciting, really scary, really invigorating. It's every single emotion wrapped up into one.
Yeah.
But
I can
except for
only
anger,
imagine.
Maybe. Probably not anger. It's not angry.
I'm sure there's anger here and there, but that's what sometimes is that's part of love. It's part of marriage. It's part of life. Very happy for you too. Very much looking forward to that wedding. Mm-hmm. I think that might make the list next year if we make it to a 2023 event.
Yeah, hopefully. If it doesn't, then something went catastrophically wrong.
Yeah, something went wrong in some kind of way. But I would imagine it'll be a good time. It'll be a lovely time. It's going to be a hot time, I would imagine, as well.
It will be, just for the ceremony, though.
Just for the ceremony.
The reception will be air conditioned.
Do we know where everything's at yet? Are we told?
Like the location?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. But I'm looking forward to it one way or another. It could be in your backyard, Mike. It'd be very hobbity, I believe. Just like you doing a barefoot wedding?
No.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, my brother's wedding was barefoot.
Really?
It was on the beach.
That makes sense.
But, yeah.
You probably don't want to wear shoes on the beach. Especially dress shoes.
It was hard sand, though.
Dress shoes might be a little tough, though.
Yeah.
That's how Sarasota was. Very hard sand.
So, yeah. I would say 2 pretty different lists.
Pretty different lists. Honestly, this is what we expected to some degree. It's just a very obscure list. Nonetheless, it was a very fun conversation. Very nice list. The lists are very, I don't know, I just enjoy the list formatting. I think it is a fun thing to kind of work through. I agree. What would you give your 22? I guess your 2022 grade's probably pretty high, isn't it, Mike? If you had to go, on the A through F scale, A plus being the top. Man. It's got to be an A plus, right?
No. It's probably 2022 is probably it's an A.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to give it that A plus because then it's like then every year has to be an A plus.
It doesn't have to be, but
I know, but
I
think 2023 in theory should be an A plus year compared to 2022.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'm extremely blessed and fortunate to be in the position I am in life, and I'm happy as a person. So that's what's most important. Yeah, and I think the people around me are happy, and
I think I was on a different wavelength with my answer as well because obviously, if I'm being completely legitimate, is it an A plus year? Potentially, I think it is high up there. But it's like I'm always going to bet on my team. I think it was an A plus for me, man. Next year is going to be an A plus again. A lot of it has to do with your mindset. Yeah, I think you have that mindset in you as well, Mike. I think you make every opportunity the best you can, and you try to take everything with the stride in your steps. So that's all you can do. Of course, there's times that suck. What we've been saying, that's life, man. Stole it from my mouth. But exactly, I'm gonna give do you have any memoriams to get out here? I did Gmail, Debbie, and Hagrid.
Yeah, we got Papa Butler.
Yeah. R.I.P.
For sure. I'm sure there are a lot of celebrities that I'm just not thinking of. As you start to rattle them off, I might.
Absolutely. If we looked at a list, we'd know them. Those are the only 2. Because I didn't even look at a list. Those are 2 that came to the head. It's like, hey, might as well do a memoriam. It's the end of the year. They always do those on the game show or on the award shows. So, to all those who lost anyone, no matter how near, no matter how dear, maybe it was just Hagrid, someone that grew up with watching on the television screen. Mm-hmm. R.I.P. Respect to them all. We carry you with us as we go. But that's all I got for the rest of this. I don't know if did you have honorable mentions this week?
Yeah, I had a couple.
Okay, throw them out there.
Forecastle, Tom Brady divorce.
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky and Rihanna.
That was a bit of
having a baby.
That was a thing.
The Don't Worry Darling drama.
Okay.
Surrounding that film, the Olivia Wilde film.
Right.
And yeah, those are all my honorable mentions.
I had Top Gun Maverick, which
just watched that last night.
Yeah,
for the first time.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah.
That's one that I wasn't like an OG fan.
Same. Top
Gun isn't like my type of movie necessarily. I'm not gonna go crazy about it, but man, it's still not one of my favorite movies. But shit, I enjoyed watching that.
Did you see it in theaters?
Saw it in IMAX.
I would have loved to see it in theaters.
Fuck, dude. It was crazy. It was awesome though. Like, oh, it was such a good movie. It's your theater movie, you know, man. Like, watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
Loved that one. Boys' trip to Sarasota. So, as I had said, my grandma had passed away. We ended up having like a boys' trip down to Sarasota this summer with, Griffin, his dad, my dad, and me, which was really fun because, prior we've always done something with like the whole family. So it was nice to like just, hang out with the guys, go down there and just have like a fun time with guys together, which we have never done, in our whole entire lives. So that's Grandma Debbie working in her ways to some degree, say bring us together in that way. So That was one of them, and then moving into this rental. I didn't have a ton of honorable mentions. I'm sure I could think of more. As for a song, Lost Control by Whitney, that's one off the top of my brain right now. Really love that song. That album was really good. I don't know if I'd say the whole album would make the list or even maybe an honorable mention, but some of the songs would, Lost Control being the main. But those are my honorable mentions. Anything else?
The vacations, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
So if I would have thought of it instead of like made it more personal instead of pop culture, then my vacations for sure would have been on there.
Yeah.
But I didn't
Disclaimer.
go that route, so
that's all right.
But
we made a list out of it. I'm not sure what our next list is. We're kind of falling behind. We need to come up with another one.
yeah, we do need to think of one. I hope this wasn't too boring. I hope the lists aren't boring.
I mean, it's
You know
going
what
to
I
be
mean?
fine. It is what it is, you know.
I enjoy sitting here and just like I love lists. We could just compare grocery lists,
Yeah.
and I would have a good time. So,
Probably, yeah. It's like, what are you going to use that for?
exactly.
I think it would be a good list. Maybe we do that, you know. The top 10 best grocery items.
A top 10 list of your best grocery lists.
Oh. It's like your 5-course meal for the week. You know, your best like grocery visit.
Yeah.
What's the best eatings? With a couple.
But,
how many snacks are allowed on the list?
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you put in the comments. Let us know what we missed. Some things that should have been on the list. Give us ideas because we're doing this off the top of our head.
Well, we'll figure one out.
Yeah, no doubt. But give us ideas on all the socials too. And that's it.
We're not going to slap the table this time, but that was great content last time. I wonder what the clip's going to be this week. I honestly, it takes me like 5 minutes. I just kind of find one thing. Sometimes like I know something, but
yeah.
But yeah, guys, I think it was a fun one. We'll have another list coming out, I guess, next Wednesday. Or maybe not next Wednesday because you have schooling starting up as well, correct?
Yeah, but I don't think I have class on Wednesday. I'll have to double check this weekend. But we'll get a new date or a new day of the week.
And will we typically be doing it at this hour now? Do you have football in these days now?
Yeah, it'll probably be a little bit later. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I was just asking. I guess it doesn't really matter to viewers to any extent, but other than that, you know, things coming up.
Yeah. My birthday is in 2 Wednesdays.
That's true. I might have to get you a present.
So
we'll see.
That'd be appreciated. I don't know if we'll do a podcast that day, but also it's on a Wednesday, so I won't be doing anything.
Yeah, I guess we could see.
So.
But yeah, guys, I guess we're going to wrap it up. I think this was a long one. I think we were here for a pretty good time. I think there were some good stories in it. If they can't relate necessarily with the list, maybe more so with the stories. But I think it was a really good one, a really fun one. We'll figure something out for next Wednesday. Other than that, Mike, say your goodbyes, and we'll hop on out of here.
Yeah. Like you said, it's been a long one, so I'll be short. Sorry for putting death on the forefront of everybody's mind at the beginning of this podcast and at the forefront of this year.
Damn.
I would like to take that back.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great year, and I'm excited.
I agree. It was a great year in 2022, guys. It's going to be a great 2023. Looking forward to spending it with you all. We're going to be hopping in this booth, talking on these mics many times over, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun doing it. We're going to drink some more wine. This is our 3rd bottle in the... once we get to 10, we're going to do it. This one, very purpley on the mouth. I can see it on my mouth. I think on the screen. I can see it in your mouth as well. So very purpley, but we had a great time. I thought this wine was really good. Is it better than Freak Show? I think it has potential, depending.
Okay.
I might have to look into it a little bit more, think on it a little bit more. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But once again, guys, thank you all for listening. It's always appreciated. It was a long one, but it was a fun one as well. So looking forward to 2023 with you guys. Love you. Purple Podcast. Top 10s with Coach Mikey. Volume 3. Peace.